Let us start with the next question. The returns of portfolio A and market portfolio for the last 12 months are indicated as follows. So we have been provided with the information about the return from January to December for the portfolio A and of the market portfolio. The question is providing to us ready-made information about the standard deviation for portfolio A as well as for market portfolio. You are required to find out monthly returns attributable to sheer skill of the portfolio manager. That is a question. I request all of you to go through the question, then we'll discuss how to do it. First of all, let us prepare a small working note regarding calculation of the mean return, average return of portfolio A and average return of market portfolio. Then we will discuss further that what is supposed to be done. So I request all of you to write down answer along with me. Working note number 1, calculation of average return of portfolio A and of market portfolio. So let us see that's how to make the calculation. It is column number 1 is month, column number 2 is return of portfolio A, and column number 3 is return on the market portfolio. Dear students, we just have to make the total and then average of the same. Write an answer along with me. In the month of January, it is 0.52, 0.82. In the month of February, 2.20, 0.04. March, 2.17, 2.80. April, it is 4.17, 1.72. May, 2.04, 0.27. June, 3.39. July, 1.99, 1.95. August, 4.64. September, negative 1.38, 1.53. October, 2.67, 2.70. November, 3.99, 2.52. December, 1.86, 2.09. We'll make total of the same and then we'll make the calculation of the average. Why do we do it? So I just explain that to you in 2 minutes of time. So let us see the calculation of answer. 0.52 plus 2.2 plus 2.17 plus 4.17 plus 2.04 plus 3 plus 1.99 plus 4 minus 1.38 plus 2.67 plus 3.99 plus 1.86. So the total comes to 27.23. There are 12 months, so divided by 12, average is 2.2692. That is 27.23 divided by 12. This is the way the average is calculated of the return of the portfolio. Let us see for the market portfolio, 0.82 plus 0.04 plus 2.8 plus 1.72 plus 0.27 plus 0.39 plus 1.95 plus 0.64 plus 1.53 plus 2.7 plus 2.52 plus 2.09. So that comes to 17.47 divided by 12. That comes to 1.4558. That is the way we are required to make the computation of, first of all, average return. Why do we compute? I just explain that to you subsequently. Now the important part of the question starts. Be careful to understand it. The question says that you're required to calculate the monthly returns attributable to the sheer skill of the portfolio manager. It means that how the portfolio manager is able to beat, or how the portfolio manager is able to give the better performance. That is the question. So we understand that friends, over here we are required to make the calculation of alpha of the security. Yes, you are required to make the calculation of alpha of the security. It is calculated as x bar, that is the mean return, minus required rate of return. Do not write anything, let me explain you. Mean return is 2.2692 minus required rate of return is RF plus beta into RM minus RF. This is a formula which is required to be applied. The question is providing the information. Assume that risk-free rate of return is 12% per annum. Dear students, you can see that all this monthly information is there. So whatever the answer that we have also found is of course of the monthly return, and the portfolio is fully diversified. That is what provided to us. So don't write anything. It is 2.2692 minus what is RF? RF is 1, because yearly the rate of interest is 12%. So for 1 month it is 1%, plus beta into RM minus RF. Return on the market portfolio is 1.4558. 1.4558 minus risk-free rate of return, that is 1%. Now as far as the beta calculation is concerned, let us understand and how to calculate the beta, and which I feel is an important point of this question. Now friends, over here, for the purpose of calculation of the beta of the security, that is beta of the portfolio, the institute has provided a suggested answer which is very simple. Of course, you can make the calculation of the beta by using the formula as correlation coefficient into standard deviation of security divided by standard deviation of market portfolio. Or otherwise, you can make the calculation as covariance of the security with market divided by the variance of the market portfolio. Both the formulas are possible. However, since we have been provided with the information that the portfolio is fully diversified, because of this information provided to us in the example, the institute has provided the suggested answer, in which the institute has provided answer like this. Listen carefully. Total risk is equal to systematic risk plus unsystematic risk. This is what's the formula that we have for the sharp index model. We understand that so the total risk of the security is equal to variance of the security, that is variance of the portfolio, 1.6223 raised to 2 is equal to systematic risk, that is beta square into sigma m square, plus unsystematic risk is 0. Why? Because the question is providing the information that it is fully diversified. What does it mean? It means that the unsystematic risk is 0. As far as the beta square is concerned, it is calculated as 1.6223 raised to 2 divided by variance of the market portfolio. What is the variance of the market portfolio? It is square of 0.9498. 0.94, I'm sorry, 9498 raised to 2. So now what we will do, whole, that is we can simplify this like by number of methods, raised to 1 by 2. So we can calculate the beta. It is 1.6223 divided by 0.9498. That is the way the beta of the security is calculated. And later on, say we can put the beta over here to calculate alpha of the security. This is the way we can make the calculation of answer. So over here the institute has adopted a very simple method for making calculation of the beta because of that specific information, and then we can compute the alpha of the security. So write down answer of the question. In first part of the question, comma, we have to compute alpha of security, sorry, alpha of portfolio. Full stop. In the breakdown, working note number 1, calculation of RF, calculation of monthly RF. In the breakdown, per annum RF divided by number of months. Per annum risk-free rate of return is 12% divided by 12 months in a year. So it comes to 1%. That is the way first of all monthly RF can be calculated. Next, working note number 2, calculation of beta of portfolio. In the breakdown, as it has been given that portfolio is fully diversified, comma, it means it does not have unsystematic risk. Full stop. it has only systematic risk. Full stop. Accordingly, beta is calculated. So write down total risk is equal to systematic risk plus unsystematic risk. Total risk is equal to variance of the portfolio. Systematic risk is beta of the portfolio square into variance of the market portfolio plus unsystematic risk, which is 0. So beta of the portfolio square is equal to sigma p square divided by sigma m square. So the entire equation is multiplied, that is multiplied with the under root, or its under root is calculated for the entire equation. So we understand that the beta of the portfolio is equal to standard deviation of portfolio divided by standard deviation of the market portfolio. Now what is standard deviation of the portfolio? This is the standard deviation of the portfolio. Sorry. This is standard deviation of portfolio and this is standard deviation of market portfolio. So it is 1.6223 divided by 0.9498. That is the way the beta of the portfolio is calculated. Okay. Now we'll make the computation of the required rate of return, and lastly we'll make the calculation of alpha. So working note number 3. Calculation of required rate of return. It is RF plus beta into RM minus RF. What is risk-free rate of return? It is 1%. What is beta? It is 1.7080. So 1.7080 into return on the market portfolio is 1.4558 minus risk-free rate of return is 1%. So 1 plus 0.4558 into 1.7080, that is 0.7785. 1.7785%. This is the way we make the computation of a required rate of return. Okay. Next, we'll make the calculation of alpha. Alpha is calculated as x bar minus required rate of return. It means that's the mean return minus required rate of return. What is the mean return? Mean return is 2.2692. So here it is 2.2692 minus 1.7785. So it is 0.4907. So this is the excess return which has been earned with the skill of the portfolio manager. Second part of the question. What part of the monthly return is attributable to the higher risk assumed by the portfolio manager? That is a question. So here the second part of the question says that what part of the monthly return is attributable to the higher risk assumed by the portfolio manager. Let us understand, let's say, how to make the calculation of answer of the question. Let me explain you. Part of monthly return attributable to higher risk assumed by portfolio manager. Dear students, this answer can be calculated by two methods. Friends, over here we understand that it is calculated as required rate of return minus return on the market portfolio. We understand that, say, since the investor has made investment in a security, that is in a portfolio which has beta more than 1, so the required rate of return is 1.7785. So 1.7785 minus return on the market portfolio. Return on the market portfolio is 1.4558. 1.4558. So difference between both of them is the part of the monthly return attributable to the higher risk assumed by the portfolio manager. 1.7785 minus 1.4558. That comes to 0.3227. This is the way it is calculated because the risk undertaken is more. Or otherwise, you can make the calculation like this: beta of the portfolio minus beta of the market portfolio into RM minus RF. What is the risk of the portfolio, friends? Risk of the portfolio is 1.7080. In comparison to the market portfolio, it is higher by how much? 0.7080 into RM minus RF, that is 1.4558 minus 1. So it is more by 0.4558. So 0.708 into 0.4558, that comes to 0.3227. This is what we understand is the part of the portfolio return attributable to the high risk assumed by the portfolio manager. Right on answer. Let us have a small summary of the entire answer. In the first part of the question, we are required to make the calculation of the alpha of the security. For that, first of all, we have made the calculation of the average return of the portfolio and average return of the market portfolio. This is what's the first thing that we have done. Then alpha of the security is calculated as X bar minus required rate of return. X bar is 2.2692 minus required rate of return is required to be deducted. So that will give us the alpha. Now importantly, the suggested answer given by the institute, in that they have considered that since it is a well diversified portfolio, so the risk of the portfolio is consisting of only systematic risk. So accordingly, the beta of the securities, beta of the portfolio is calculated. So beta of the portfolio is found. RF is simple 1% because yearly return is 12%. Afterwards, the required rate of return by using the normal formula. Return on the market portfolio is taken, say, from the value that, say, we already have got. Lastly, we make the calculation of the alpha. Second part of the question says, what part of the monthly return is attributable to the higher risk? Dear students, the term higher risk means higher risk of the portfolio in comparison to the market portfolio. That is what we understand. And accordingly, we make the calculation. It is 0.3227. This is the higher return that the portfolio should generate in comparison to the market portfolio.